to know everything. Who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We've got the next episode kicking off here with State of the Pels, and we have a very special guest today. We've got Alvin with us. He just started his own podcast related to the Pelicans, and so I'm really excited to have him on today, and we can just talk some Pelicans and break things down for some of you who maybe aren't as well educated as we are when it comes to basketball. So, welcome. Thank you for coming on the show today. I'm happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, giving me an opportunity to join your platform and be able to bring some positive information and some positive light to our city and our team and make sure we get everybody on the right side of things going into the season. We need all of the support we could get, and we got to get the right information out there.
We do. And one thing I'm not going to forget this year is that when the Pelicans are awesome, because they're healthy and they are awesome, I'm not going to forget everybody that was just such a hater all last year, acting like this 21-61 record is an actual representation of the talent on this team. Like, people just could not seem to understand we're a hurt team that's insanely talented. And so this year we're going into it healthy, with the exception of DeJounte Murray, who we'll get to in a little bit. But this team is a stacked team. So how are you feeling going into it?
I completely agree, to be honest. So the 21 win season, granted, it was a really tough season, but we went into the season, you know what I mean, starting off banged up. Trey Murphy gets hurt to start the season. We had a feeling it was going to be a rough season when Zion missed the first game. You know what I mean? Just kind of got sick, wasn't feeling well. But like you said, that's not a representation of the talent level on this team. If the players are there and available, you've seen them produce at a high level against all of the competition that we have. So while people had a right to be somewhat discouraged because of last season, I don't think that should be a reflection of what it is that we should be looking forward to with the team. And as of right now, just like you said, the only person that's out or projected to be out is DeJounte Murray. But if we get Herb and Trey and Z, everything should be looking good come opening tip.
Yeah, and no doubt last season was very frustrating. It was just a big disappointment. But people were still showing up to the games. I mean, you had thousands and thousands. The ratings on TV were still very high. Like, this is a professional basketball team here in New Orleans. We're fortunate that we have something like that. I mean, it's the only thing in the state of Louisiana. We've got both professional sports teams here with the Saints and the Pelicans. So the fans are still going to show up. And I think that the Pelicans, I do feel like the organization feels the pressure of this season has to be different. We have to make sure that we stay healthy, because they know what they've got from a talent standpoint when everyone is healthy, and just the thought of the season starting off, we're not going to have our starting point guard, but it's almost exciting to know we've got that to look forward to, because imagine the momentum that we could be having going into getting DeJounte Murray when he does come back in January, February, just heading into the playoff point, and he looked great today on Instagram. He posted,
with
he's
his
ready
video.
to come back. Yeah, he's ready, coming back better than ever. And man, sometimes I love a revenge season. If there's something about it.
That's the big point that you're pointing, like the revenge season. I think everybody is looking, like the Pelicans in general are looking to take a revenge season from every aspect you could think about. I think the moves in the front office, I think our front office has something to prove. The players have something to prove to show that the 21 win season isn't a good representation. The fan base, also has something to prove, because like you said, even though that was one of our tougher seasons recently, they still had people coming out supporting, spending their hard-earned money to support this team. If you go and look at some of the games when Zion came back, when Trey Murphy came back, like there were still Pelicans fans in the arena cheering on that team. So, I think we have a lot to look forward to, and we're more equipped now, I think, to survive the injuries than we have been in the past season. Like DeJounte might be out, but you do have a Jordan Poole to step in immediately, and that's a significant player. You drafted Jeremiah Fears, another lead guard that could kind of help fill in that role. You have Jose. You have plenty of players that I think have high upside that help sustain and really, you know, be aggressive and attack this season in a way that people just not prepared for.
Yeah, you're right about that. We got deeper than we were last year, and we always had been saying like we already have a deep bench. Like that's something. Thank God we do. I mean, last year we really got pretty depleted on that bench, though. But now we're even
Absolutely.
deeper. Yeah. So with if we do have an injury, I do feel like we have even more. We're a young team, but we've got some experience now from that depth standpoint. So, I mean, I just see all good things coming this year as long as we stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
biggest question to help. But like you said, DeJounte coming back from the injury, the way you see him in the videos, I mean, he based on like the typical timelines, you know, you would think January, but man, the way he looks, he's tracking. It seems like he's trying to make appearance a lot sooner than that. And regardless of whether he comes back and starts immediately or something, I don't know if he does that. But just
right.
having him back is an upgrade. You know what I mean? Having that potential player and having him work himself back into a good rhythm. Like the sooner the better.
Yeah, definitely the sooner the better. I was really impressed with him last season before he got hurt. So then sometimes it's just that, like you were talking about earlier, the mental side of being an athlete is it's a whole arena in itself. And when you take an injury and you have to come back from that as a professional athlete, it either strengthens you or it just gets you down. And I totally see a
Mhm.
strengthening in Murray from it and a maturity from it. That's huge for the Pelicans.
I agree. I think as you've seen, every just about every key player on our team has suffered some form of significant injury, or like Trey with the shoulder, Herb with his shoulder,
Hmm.
DeJounte, and all of these players, Zion, you know, particularly had dealt with his fair share of injuries. But all of these players, if you notice, every time you see him come back, like Trey has come back and looked better than he has before, you know, before an injury.
Right.
Herb Jones, you know, this is his first real injury, but we can believe that Herb, the type of player he is, the work ethic and everything, there's no doubt in my mind that Herb Jones is going to come out. He just got the new extension, coming out with something to prove, believing he's first team all NBA. And Zion, bro, when he came back from injury last season, you saw what level of dominance that he played with. I think finishing the season healthy,
Mhm.
finally, and being able to actually have a good off season, I think you'll see him come back and look better than ever as well.
Yeah, and speaking of Zion, he overall, I feel like everyone was like, "Oh my God, number one draft pick," and it's just game over for the league. And yet he has not been in the conditioning type of really the shape that he's needed to be in, on and off. Like
Absolutely.
it just fluctuates so much. And then you've got the injuries, which a lot of that probably is because the conditioning isn't there. There's not enough
Mm-hmm.
prep putting into stretching, and I mean that stuff is so time consuming. And when you're an athlete, a freak athlete like him, that's the last thing
Mm-hmm.
you feel like doing. But I do feel like he's matured enough and he's sick of what he's hearing from everyone that he's
Absolutely.
saying, okay, I'm putting in anything that I can that's going to just keep me on the court consistently. And so I feel like he does have a reputation right now, sort of, certainly across the league, from those fan bases. But here, even locally, it's like, man, come on, bro. Like, we want
Mm-hmm.
you to care. Can you just care as much as we care about this franchise? And I think that this is the year we're going to see a different Zion come out, and he's going to prove that he's willing, and he's been putting in the offseason everything that needs to be done to keep him out there on that court.
I mean, when I say completely agree, completely agree. So I think a lot of the history and some of the shortcomings that Zion has literally been due to like a lack of professionalism. You know what I mean? He hasn't taken his training seriously. He hasn't taken his rehab at times seriously. But when, like you said, when you're a freak athlete, this guy's like, when he came into the league, he was one of the top one of one type of athletes. You had never seen anybody like this. This guy probably never dealt with a significant injury like that in his life. You know what I mean? So mentally, like you said, as an athlete, what do you mean I can't play? Like, it was probably something really hard to overcome. And again, he's 19 years old. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders, this new franchise. So I could imagine being a young man at that time being extremely challenging and not knowing how to take those things head on. But like you said, over time, this is year 6 for Zion. I think we're going into, and the maturity level, if you really pay attention, it's been showing significantly over the last 3 seasons. It hasn't just been one season of, oh, we don't know what we're going to get. Like, there's still been some inconsistencies, don't get me wrong, but Zion got hurt last year and it took the rehab really aggressively. If you listen to his press conference that he gave post game, the game he returned against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the one thing he talked about was how aggressive he attacked his rehab, and that's going to carry over. So now, having that, being able to come back, finish the season healthy, and going into this season, obviously, I think he's ready to take a step from a maturity level. This is his, clearly his team now. And from a basketball level, I think you'll see the best versions of Zion. I truly believe that.
Yeah, and also you have to think, like, when you get drafted as the number one pick and you're the best player in college basketball, your mind, you just feel invincible. So you're not even thinking, hey, I might have a serious injury if I don't start doing all this extra stretching and making sure that, like, I'm in tip top shape and I'm and that I'm eating the right things to fuel my body. You're just not. You literally think nothing could ever happen to me, and then it does, and then it does several times. And I think it was at some point, I think really it was last season, was the wake up call. Like, dude, this really matters here. And I think we saw it in last season because he got in shape, he stayed in shape, he was unreal out there. And of course, he didn't play as many games and as many minutes because the season was, a lost cause. And obviously they didn't want to, don't get him hurt. But I think we saw that kind of that switch in maturity from him last year. And so this year, I think Joe Dumars coming in is holding him accountable, saying, hey, are you ready for this responsibility? And he's not messing around with it. So I'm like, oh my God, are we going to get this Zion, the lottery ticket pick Zion finally? Like, I mean, he's literally a lottery ticket for a franchise. And I think this could be the year that we get to cash in on him. And I say that as respectfully as possible, not in just like, hey, you're a money ticket, not at all. But like, just as a fan, like, oh my God, we've been dying years to see this. And I think that this could be the year.
Listen, I'm on record of thinking I think this team is not a playing team, but a playoff team. I think Zion takes that all NBA leap, like all-star MVP candidate type leap. And you've seen the talent. Like, the talent is undeniable. Like, we've seen Zion not be in shape and still look dominant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've seen him be not his best self and still, again, if you want to go back to a couple seasons ago, and I hate to have to, kind of go back, but if you go back to when he was healthy, well, he started the season healthy. This was after he hurt the foot, came back, started the season. They were the 1 seed, and he still wasn't really in shape. Now, he couldn't sustain it, but you saw he was able to compete at an elite level. Then they come back, and last year he just looked incredibly different. I think this year will be the year where he finally puts the mental, the physical. You have the team behind him, supporting him in ways on and off the court. You know what I mean? Like, they got your back. So there's nothing really there's no real doubt of if they believe in you. And I think, and this is an underrated part of Zion's character, in my opinion. And I think it's a good thing. Some people, excel when they're getting supported, or like when people believe in it, you need positive reinforcement. Zion excels when people doubt him. And plenty of people outside of the Pelicans building are doubting them. That they ESPN had us ranked for 31.5 wins. They graded our draft a F grade. We got two of the top. They had two of the top players ranked We get both of them, but we still get an F grade. I think with all of that lining up, stacking against the team, they're gonna rise and shine, and you'll see the best version of this team. I really believe it.
You know, I feel like we do have a bunch of guys on the team that thrive when they're being doubted. Like then they get an extra fire in them, you know, like, cause think about it. A lot of them, I mean, these are not guys that were like, besides Zion, you know, you got Jose Alvarado, you got these kind of guys on the team that nobody expected anything out of. And look what they've been able to do. Those are the kind of people that I want to form a team with, because that is going to be the work ethic that you're going to need to get you further, you know, going for every loose ball, caring about every single rebound. Like those are the pieces, the small parts of the game that you've got to have. And I think that this whole team together has it for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, you have players that have overachieved, like a team that has overachieved pretty much in every step. Now this will be the question, I think, because I do think they're going to start the season better than most people expect and overachieve, is when we do set the expectation on them of, hey, this is a good team. Can you continue and sustain? I think that's where the challenge is going to be, and that's what we'll really see what they're made of, because they play really well when doubted. But when there's expectation there, can you rise and meet the expectation? I think with Joe Dumars at the helm, players like Zion at this stage, Trey Murphy at this stage, I think they're more equipped to handle success and be able to sustain in those moments.
Yeah, because one thing that this team hasn't been able to do is go on that deep playoff run. So we've got a few, you know, we've got Jordan Poole now, and we have a pretty young team, so we don't have that experience. So if they are playing really, really well and they are playing up to, you know, what they're capable of, are they going to be able to withstand that kind of pressure? Because we all know I mean, you might be a talented team, but can you keep it at that level for 82 games? That's a long time to have to do that.
I agree. I think the 82 games. So a lot of people talk about how challenging the Western Conference is, and yes, I think the Western Conference is pretty challenging. But if you really look at the teams top to bottom, other than Oklahoma City, you got to give the champions their credit and stuff like that. The Pelicans team stacks up against over over majority of the teams in the West. If you line them up,
Right.
talent for talent, we really can be one of the better teams in the Western Conference. And I think a lot of the teams that we're saying, hey, that ask the question, can the Pelicans sustain? We can ask the same questions about those teams. Hey, will y'all be able to make it through the 82 game grind? And can your older players, or can your younger, less mature players, or your less talented players, will they be able to outduel our horses? I don't think so. If I
Right.
gotta bet my money, I'm putting my money on ours.
Yeah, I literally did put like a $5 bet on the Pelicans winning the Western Conference Finals. So I mean, drinks on me if that happens,
So
because it's got a
I'm
good
so
day.
confident. I'm so confident in the 31 and a half. And this is the first time I let this out. I put $500 down on the 31 and a half. The 31 and a half, that's, to me, that's easy money. Easy money, at least.
I mean,
And
I agree with you.
if depending on, I don't know, I might have to go look at our title odds right now. I don't know about title just yet, but that 31 and a half was just, I'm not
Yeah.
concerned about
Mhm.
it at all. Yeah, the level of disrespect for the 31 and a half, when they a lot of people are critical of the 21 wins. So I was just looking at the record. So they shut the entire team down with
Mhm.
10 with 12 games left to play. Like 12 games left to play, they shut Zion down, they shut everybody
Yep.
else down. Everybody was hurt. They won 21 games with Zion playing 30 games. Like, we missed, they had one of the highest salaries worth of injuries throughout any team in the league, and they
Oh
still won
yeah.
21 games. Like, that's insane.
21 games, and we literally are getting guys that no one's ever heard of just to come and start for us, and we still at 21 wins. I mean, come on.
Let me tell you the thing about this, and I like these players, so it's not to not to be negative about those players, but we won 21 games last year with Brandon Boston playing, and respectfully to Brandon Boston, I like him, but he's not in the league right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Right.
Alfred Payton, love him, you know what I mean, New Orleans native, but he's not signed to anybody right now. So you played majority of the season with, you know what I mean, with respectfully
Exactly.
fringe NBA players, and you still won 21 games. So
Yeah.
you telling me if I get first team all defense Herbert Jones, who last time we saw him play healthy shot almost 40% from 3-point,
Right.
we get him back, you know, champion Jordan Poole, like, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
who added like, it's just so much upside to the team that like is I'm just waiting for us to shock and amaze. That's all.
I know. And so we're in this like lulled time right now where summer league's over and there's just not a whole lot happening. Thank God I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, even though we're struggling. At least I got baseball every day. But it's
Yeah,
just like, and of course we got Saints to look forward to. That's gonna be it's just gonna be fun to watch that no matter what
I
happens.
think they're
But
gonna be better than people expect too.
I think so too. I totally think that they will. I think I'm excited to see Kellen Moore coach and see what he
Mm-hmm.
can do with this team. And so yeah, that's fun. So we only have so much Pelican stuff going on right now. So it's sort of, I'm just like waiting because I have my prediction that we're going to be a really really solid team, and there's just so many people that are such doubters on that. So we got a couple more months to wait. But I want to ask you this question. So speaking of 21 wins, and we've got
Mm-hmm.
Elfrid Payton, who I love him. I was happy that he got that shot. That must have felt like he was in a dream. Like I'm literally
Absolutely.
playing the NBA, like all these minutes. I love that for him. So talking about Willie Green, there's obviously so much criticism
Mm-hmm.
but he's never had a fair shake. He's never had this fully healthy team. And what can he actually do? So with that being said, game one, season starting, if you're Willie Green and your job is on the line, who
Mm-hmm.
is your starting five to make sure you're going to be able to get a W for the first game of the season?
So if everybody's healthy, mine is DeJounte Murray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we go Jordan Poole at the guard spot, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, obviously Herbert Jones, and respectfully, I start Kayvon Looney to start the season.
Mm.
Um, I know a lot of people, think Missy, and he showed a lot of promise. Don't get me wrong. I think he has a lot of upside, but job on the line, we need these wins for it to matter. I think a veteran presence, a solid defensive presence. I think we need to get out to a fast start, and I would like to see the most solid form of lineup that they could go out there with. So you don't start off, because one of the things that would hinder the Pelicans in previous seasons was getting off the really slow starts in games.
Mm-hmm.
The first quarter we would struggle getting out the gate. You're down 8, down 10. It's hard to dig your way out of a hole. So I think starting off with a player like Kayvon Looney surrounding, those other players that we know other than Jordan Poole, we know Zion, Trey, and Herb could play together. I think
Right.
Jordan Poole is going to be comparable, pretty comparable to what CJ brought to the team. And Looney, I think, will be that steady presence, and then a defensive presence and rebounding presence that we'll need. And also, if you bring Missy off the bench, it gives you a lot of athleticism and flexibility and versatility. So if I'm Willie, that's the lineup that I'm starting with opening day. And I just think that'll be one of the best options to make sure you secure a game one W.
I agree with all of it, and I'm not against the Looney starting. Um, I just think that Missy's such a workhorse that I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like this offseason he's going to put in what is needed. And I just like the younger lineup for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that you make a great point. I can totally see that happening. Either way, I can see them obviously subbing in and out for one another,
Mm-hmm.
whether however it's flipped. But just think about that. Either of those lineups are exciting.
Now, who do I think will start? I think Missy will start. So I absolutely think Missy will be your starting five for all of the reasons that you so eloquently put it. I think Missy will be the guy because, like you said, he's young, he's athletic, he's gonna work hard. He provides a level. I don't necessarily know if intensity is there, but he brings something that you don't get with Looney at this stage in Looney's career. So I absolutely wouldn't be. I wouldn't be mad if he started Missy to start the season. That's actually what I what I predict them being able to do, unless there's another move to be made that we don't know of just yet.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Missy was just such a like he was a bright spot last year. Nobody really knew what to expect, but he ended up I think he was better than anyone was really expecting. And knowing his work ethic and like where he comes from and all, I'm like, there's no way he's not gonna just keep adding to that going into his second year. I mean, just second year, I don't know. I'm just to me, the way he was last year, I felt was very mature, even just for a rookie season. So this year
Mm-hmm.
should be even better. But I do really like the veteran experience that Looney's bringing to the team because we do need some of that. But I just feel like these guys have been through a lot together at this point, like
Mm-hmm.
with the injuries and having to support each other and be there and keep each other just upbeat somehow. I mean, that's just so draining getting an injury that's going to put you out forever. I mean, you're literally living your dream come true playing in the NBA, and whether it's for millions or obviously different contracts, but like this is what you want to do. You just want to be out there, and when you're sidelined with an injury and can do nothing about it, it doesn't matter how much money you're
Mm-hmm.
making, you can't pay to fix that injury overnight.
No.
So these guys, I feel like they've all gone through it, and so I feel like there's a maturity and a veteran kind of type of emotion there that they all kind of have with each other at this point. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I agree. I think you make a good point as far as like the connection and bond that they form. And I think also going into this particular season, having the veteran presence, getting ready to go into training camp, will actually be able to further that, bring that further along. So to kind of touch on what you said with Missy, if Missy does the simple things that you're talking about, you should see. I mean, he was second team all rookie. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And nobody expected that for him at all. I think with the players that we have, the veteran presence, it'll simplify what it is that he has to do. Just go out there, be yourself, do your job. Man, I just I have high expectations for the team. I really, really do. I think they're
Yeah.
much better than people are giving them credit for. And you'll see, like when preseason starts, we'll get flashes of it. They'll
Yeah.
get flashes of it. That's the next time we get to see the team perform is preseason. And I think because of how last season ended, they'll take preseason much more serious than they have in previous years.
Yeah, and just going back to Missy being second team all rookie, he did that with not an actual starting five lineup around him. Like he
No.
did that with, like you said, guys that are not signed right now by any team. He was able to still do that. I mean, oh my God, you put him with Jordan Poole and Trey Murphy. I just can't. I can't even. What we're gonna get to experience this year is gonna be so much fun.
Eves Eves Missy, if you go back and watch the games where they had comparable guard play, like the games where
Hmm.
DeJounte played, Eves
Yep.
Missy was averaging like a double-double. He'll
Yeah.
easily be able to average 14 if he gets the minutes, easily be able to average 14 and 10, or you know what I mean, 13 and 12 or something like that. And that's really all you need from him. It's not like you need him to be a 15 to 16 point guy. Just come out there, defend the rim, 1 or 2 blocks a game. You know what I mean? Stay
Yeah.
out of foul trouble. But when he
Hmm.
played with and we rarely saw it at all last season because we were so banged up. But when he played with any type of competent guard play, you saw. I mean, Alfred Payton had 20 assists, had 20 assists in a game.
Like,
A lot of those are the Eves, man. So I mean, you
yeah,
you see the potential on the team.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so glad that you joined me today. This has been great. I probably am more known for being the positive Pelicans fan, but it's not delusional. It's what is
No.
it can be reality with just health, just pure health. And that's what the team has to focus on. Number one this year is stay healthy because with it, I mean, this potential is it's going to be pretty eye opening. And I can't wait for the national media to have to finally acknowledge it. Like, I cannot wait to see all of that. And this is the year that it's going to happen. We've got the pieces to it. Just stay healthy. And so I really appreciate you joining me today for this. Has been great talking with you. And so, yeah, everybody check out his podcast. It's called Pels
Pels
in
in
the
the
blender.
blender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pels in the blender. Yeah, and we'll all be in the blender plenty this season coming up. So, so yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody there. But definitely go follow him on X. And yeah, anything last that you want to say before we close it out?
No, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Again, we gotta keep spreading that positivity. We gotta keep the energy high. You know what I mean? And get ready to go. Make sure we show up and show out for the team because I really believe that this is the year that we'll have a lot of excitement and a lot of positivity to talk about. Go Pels.
That's right. Finally, we need it. We're gonna need it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.